Hi, I'm Fish on a Heater and I'm a guide for the Sylph Road. I'm making this video because I see a lot of content out there on how to beat the rocket bosses, and they all concentrate on the specific Pokemon that you've got to use, and I think that goes about it the wrong way. It's not like raids. This is a totally different ecosystem. So you don't just find one Pokemon that is the maximum kind of attack stat for that type, and then just send wave after wave at it at your enemy until it's overcome. It's there's more strategy involved. It's a whole different thing. It's essentially, for those who have been ignoring PvP, it's the same kind of thing. You're using different tools and strategies to overcome these guys. Now, a lot of you will be watching this and thinking, dude, shut up. The rocket bosses are easy. I took care of them on my second go. Did it ages ago. I've already got my Shadow Zapdos. That's fine. I'm genuinely happy for you if you aren't finding the bosses hard. You will still get something out of this video, but you don't have to utilize it. That's fine. This video is mainly for those people that I meet out in raids who tell me, oh, those bosses are so hard, I can't beat them. I've maxed out all my Psystrike Mewtwo's and I still can't beat any of them. It breaks my heart to know that they've sunk that much Stardust into something that will not work for them. Great next time they got a Machamp raid, but is not going to help them against the Go Rocket leaders. So there are two main tools that you want to utilize against the bosses, and they are quick-fire spammy charge moves and switching your Pokemon. Now, they're two things that you never use in raids, and they will help you a lot when it comes to the Team Rocket battles. Now, when I talk about spammy quick-fire moves, I will show you. There's a list here. There's a site called pvpoke.com. If you have not been using PvPoke, if you've not been participating in trainer battles, then you will not have used pvpoke.com, but it is a mecca of information about trainer battles. Right now I've got, it's just user friendly and really intuitive. It's just amazing. I've got here a list of all the charge moves in the game, and I've sorted it so that all the lowest energy cost moves are up the top here. So all these 35 energy moves are ones that will be really handy, because as you know, the rocket bosses use their shields on the first two charge attacks that happen. So you want something that is really quick firing, just gets in, gets out, burn those two shields, and then you can really have some fun. I'm going to show you some battles as an example. This is my battle with Cliff. Now, hopefully, I'm actually going to start that from the beginning, so just give me a sec. Oop, that's not right, and alright. Did you see my Pokemon? Yes, you did. Okay, so, obviously, the Meowth, Sandslash, Tyranitar. I'm using two Vaporeons and a Lucario there. Now, you'll notice the Lucario is not my lead. Obviously, I want to take out the Meowth with the Lucario. It's got the Power Up Punch and it's got Counter, which, side note, if you're using Power Up Punch as your quick-fire spammy charge move, Counter is a great thing to pair with it. Number one, because it charges energy fast, meaning you can get to those Power Up Punches quicker. Number two, it does really, really good damage in the meantime. While you're not doing any damage with your charge move, you are, still taking huge chunks of health out of the opposing Meowth. But, back to the original point, why haven't I led with the Lucario? Because every time a Pokemon switches, and every time a Pokemon uses a charge move, the Rocket Boss leader's Pokemon will pause for 2 seconds. That is where you make your move. That is what's going to get you the win. That is what is going to allow you to beat these guys with subpar Pokemon. You might notice that 2 of these 3 Pokemon that I'm using in this battle are under 1500 CP. I've got one there that is powered up. I powered it up just ages ago, like longer than I care to remember. But the other 2, I have not burned huge stores of Stardust on. And you'll see they're both using Aqua Tail as well, which are both... Aqua Tail is a 35 energy charge move. Let's get into the battle here. So, the Vaporeon comes out first. I don't want to take on the Meowth with the Vaporeon, so I switch it out immediately, and Meowth pauses for 2 seconds. Look at that. I've taken out half of its health before it even attacks me. And I've gotten to the charge move quickly. Burn the first shield. It pauses again, and I take it out that quickly. I'm already up to another charge move. So here comes the second shield, and now I'm just gonna punch away at it. Managed to get out another charge move. This isn't gonna do any damage, but that's fine. Out comes Vaporeon. It's paused for 2 seconds again, and that's allowed me enough time to get up to that charge move. It doesn't do much damage, but it pauses again. Finally manages to get to its own charge move after how long it's been, over halfway through the battle. And you might have noticed there that I didn't use the charge move straight away. That's another important thing to remember. It's a concept called energy farming. While the Sandslash isn't attacking, I don't have to use my charge move. I've got more time, so I can keep tapping away at that fast move and build up more energy, and that way I can get to the next Aqua Tail even quicker again. So look, I'm already charged to my next Aqua Tail. And of course it does very little to the Tyranitar, but that's another thing I did there. So I charged up the Vaporeon that was in, almost to another Aqua Tail, and then I switched it out. The switching stops the Tyranitar for another 2 seconds. So that allows this new Vaporeon to get up a whole bunch of energy, get to a charge move. I've still got the other Vaporeon in the back. And that means that if this Vaporeon goes down, I can bring in the original Vaporeon, and Tyranitar will pause for long enough for me to get to one final Aqua Tail. So it's a bit of a Hail Mary kind of situation, because if that last Aqua Tail doesn't faint the Tyranitar, then I don't have much hope, because like the Vaporeon had that little health left. But it's an extra tool you can use, switching out, conserving energy, farming, that kind of thing. So now Tyranitar's woken up again, and I'm just gonna spray it with some water. And this goes on for a while. Just getting up to more Aqua Tails. It's like a tenth of a second between each one. It's crazy. And I managed to take it down with water guns there. I didn't even need the extra Vaporeon. The only thing you have to worry about is that defeating Cliff will fuel his anger, apparently. So just got to watch out for that Wrath of Cliff. Now, alright, here is the second battle. This is against Sierra. I'm just gonna pour... Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. There we go. I'm new at this. Alright, I'm gonna pause so that I can bring up Sierra's screen. Yep, this is definitely professional. There we go. Alright. Bringing it back to Sierra. Okay, so once again, I've started with the Mon that I didn't want to use, switched to the Lucario, and it's just cutting through that Sneasel like a knife through butter. I'm just cutting a loaf of bread at this point. In any other training battle, like a Sylph Road Cup, you wouldn't use your charge move at that point. Or, so you wouldn't use the shield at that point, but I did want to use that shield in that case because using my second charge move would burn the other shield. And that's what I needed. Now, why would I bring a Machamp into a Sableye fight? I'll show you. The Machamp came in, got up a bit of energy, just in the 2 seconds while Sableye wasn't attacking. Then I switched it out to Snorlax. Sableye pauses for another 2 seconds, and I do more damage to it. So I've done... that's almost half of its health, and it's barely started attacking me. And my Machamp is in the back with some spare energy. Now that Shadow Sneak probably wouldn't have done much to Snorlax. Double resists. And the Earthquake takes it out. Now it's just the Houndoom here. Now Leek's going to do really nothing to the Houndoom. It would have been nice to get to Earthquake, because the Earthquake would have taken it out, but that's okay. We don't mind that, because we've got the Machamp there, and it gets to that Dynamic Punch almost before the Houndoom starts attacking. And then the Dynamic Punch takes it out. So that's how you get underestimated by Sierra. So you're using those techniques of switching your Mons to make it pause, using those quick-fire charge moves, conserving farming energy. At first I thought, like, when the Go Rocket leaders first came out, I thought that it was just a bug, you know. I didn't think they were meant to pause for 2 seconds. Now I realize that this was all part of the plan. Like, they wanted us to learn these techniques in preparation for Go Battle League to come out. Here is battle number 3 against Arlo. Now, the Mamoswine... I've got 2 Mamoswines there. So the Mamoswine I started with is not the one that I ended up taking out the Scyther with. Just gotta warn you, this particular battle does get a little messy because the Mons that I used kind of fainted before I wanted them to, but we do get the job done by using some of those techniques that we're talking about. So this Mamoswine is a community day Mamoswine. It's got Ancient Power and Powder Snow as its fast move, so quite quick charging itself. Unfortunately, the Scyther's got a really quick firing, spammy charge move itself. That's okay, because now we've burnt both of the Scyther's shields already. Like I said, I didn't want my Mamoswine to faint that early. Like, I intended to have it beat the Scyther and then have a whole fresh Mamoswine for the next Pokemon, which is the Crobat. But it was not to be. I should have put the more powerful Mamoswine as the one that I led into the Scyther with. That was my mistake. Learn from my mistake. Now, I've got Community Day Typhlosion. You might have seen there, farmed a little more energy than what I needed to. And so I've already got some residual energy there. And when the Scyther comes out, I managed to get up to that Blast Burn and just delete the Scizor. It just like, poof, banished it off the face of the earth. Let's look at one more. We can't take a look at the Go Rocket leaders without taking a look at a Giovanni battle. Now, I had to have a few goes at this because I used my Lucario for all the other previous leaders. It turns out, having a 1400 CP Lucario means that that Persian faints it before it can get to 2 power-up punches. So I had to look for another option. And I had one in one that I'm sure many of you have used before, which was the altered form Giratina. So there's my team, the Mamoswine, Vaporeon, and the Giratina. Starting with the Mamoswine and then just switching straight away, or having a couple of goes at it, but then switching into the Giratina. Persian has Scratch, which is a normal move. It's double resisted by Ghost, and Giratina altered form is tanky. So tanky. Dragon Claw is another one of those spammy charge moves, 35 energy. And it's got Dragon Breath as its fast move. It's got a dragon move, which charges energy quite quickly, and you can see how quickly I'm getting to those Dragon Claws. Of course, you know, it's doing very little, very little in the moment, and so you saw what I did there. I farmed up a bit more energy. I've got a couple of Dragon Claws now saved up in case I need it. And I switched out the Vaporeon to finish off the job. Not because Vaporeon was a better Pokemon to use against the Persian, just because the Persian was low enough, and I knew it would pause for 2 seconds, that the Vaporeon can now save up a bunch of energy to unleash on the next Pokemon. That's like 3/4 of an Aquatail saved up. And again, it takes a little while. Actually, not as long as I thought. And now I've just got, this Zapdos is going to give my Vaporeon a world of hurt, but that's okay, because we've got Mamoswine in the back, and Mamoswine being a ground Pokemon also double resists the Zapdos. So Zapdos can shock us all at once. Mamoswine is just going to laugh at it. It's going to become extinct later on, but then it'll laugh now. Thunder. To be fair, the Thunder probably would have been powerful enough to feint us if we didn't have that extra shield there, but because we've utilized the switching and the spammy fast moves, spammy charge moves, we haven't even needed to use those shields. We've been able to save those shields. Got a Unova Stone there, and no shiny, unfortunately. I wonder what Zapdos Drumstick tastes like. That's a very random thought. So, yeah, let me just reiterate all of that. That is, I'm going to bring up the original screen again. I really should have done like a practice run before going through this. There we go. Just reiterating those points. Spammy charge moves, switching your Pokemon, and farming energy. Even if you're like, hey, I just beat him with my 17,000 CP Metagross, that's fine too. It's using these tools will probably be better on your resources at least. You know, you won't have to use quite as many revives or potions after the battle. I hope this is a big help to all of you. And how do I sign off? Go catch them all.